Thank you, Chamberlain. We have with us this morning Mr. Lawrence Alobi, who is a former commissioner of police here in the Federal Capital Territory. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you and good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm sure you have seen the, will I say the report now, maybe not the entirety, but what was released to the press. Or if you have seen the entirety, we'll be very interested to know. Have you?
I've just heard what I saw, what I read in the media, in the press.
Okay. Would you say that it was satisfactorily, the investigation was satisfactorily conducted?
Yeah, in the first place, this is a case, felony of the highest degree. It's a murder case. And most murder cases are not compoundable. And these are policemen who were murdered intentionally. It wasn't like a motor accident. They were murdered. And the panel is just an administrative panel, kind of fact-finding. But the criminal investigation has its own process and procedure. And what is the objective? What was the aim of the panel? What's the aim of the criminal investigation? The aim of the panel, to the best of my ability, is just a fact-finding. Who did what, who done, and so forth. And then again, the evidence that is adduced, whatever report they get now, is not admissible in evidence in court. Not admissible in court. But police investigation
is that right? Why is it not admissible in court?
Yeah, it is just administrative investigation. Under the law, the police are the one empowered to investigate criminal offenses under the law. And this is a capital offense, murder. Section 4 of the Police Act stipulates clearly who should investigate criminal cases? Police. So the army is not the duty of the army, the duty of the navy or the air force. And in the panel, maybe one police officer. The rest are all military men. So you begin to wonder, from the known to the unknown. I think it is just an administrative panel. With due respect, I don't have anything. We have something to the report. I've not seen the report, but I just had one I heard from the news. But I'm saying that is just purely administrative panel, not criminal investigation that was carried out. And like I said, it's a capital offense. And the law provides. The law is very clear. We are in democracy. We're not a military administration. This is a government that's guided by rules, by law, rule of law, as proposed by DESI. And everybody is equality before the law. And the law is supreme. And if we are ready to strengthen our democracy, we need to ensure that the rule of law prevails. And the rights of the citizens are also policemen are also like citizens of the country, also have their rights. That's a policeman who have just been killed for no just cause, for doing a legitimate duty, serving the country, for trying to dictate crime.
Yeah, but even the fact-finding mission to establish who did what and what happened, at the end of the day, they came up with recommendations. Part of it was that some officers should face sanctions, disciplinary sanctions, and they include Captain Tijani Balarabe, Sergeant Ibrahim Mohammed, Corporal Bartholomew Obangi of the EB Police Division, Assistant Superintendent of Police Aondoa Iyobe, and Inspector Liu Daje. So it would seem that, unlike what we saw, or unlike what we thought it was, that it would seem that it was the army versus the police. It would seem that even if some police officers were also involved as well.
It depends on from the angle they're looking at it. Maybe the police officer, I've not seen the entire report, so I cannot just say this may speculation. You see, maybe the officer they met at the police station, but they said the police station, I don't know. Like I said, I have not gotten a clear report. But the important thing is that criminal cases are investigated by the police. That one is an aberration.
Yeah, but aren't you curious, even if you haven't seen the entire report, the fact that you are seeing police officers also being recommended for sanctions, doesn't it say something? I
don't know what they mean. I don't know, because what are they investigating? The murder? What are they investigating? It depends on what you are investigating. The case is that officers were murdered. Maybe they're now looking at is it those who were, because those police officer at the particular police station probably who is probably being said should be disciplined. These are disciplinary administrative process. To be disciplined, that's plain administrative. It is not criminal action that has been taken in line with the law. The murder is a criminal offense, and anybody who is found culpable should be charged to face the law of the land. That's what it should be. So if maybe other actions that were taken that are administrative, that can be administrative procedure. But then, insofar as this case of murder, those suspects should be to face the rule of the law.
Part of what we have also heard Okay, we're seeing some, I think, recommendations coming up on the screen. If we can have them again, it would be very helpful. Yes, Board of Inquiry recommendations. It was also recommended that further investigation be conducted on Hamisu Bala for gun running and possibly kidnapping in order to prosecute the suspect. But away from that, I will let you comment on that shortly. But part of what we are also seeing is that it would seem that the processes that should involve cooperation between the military and the police in this instance weren't followed. How do you react to that?
First of all, it's on record that the IG, in his wisdom, constituted a panel headed by the DIG in charge of intelligence and investigation. And they have investigated them in the case. They took a thorough investigation, and they'll be able to come out with a conclusive findings. I think that's what the law provides. And the IG is the head of the police, the chief executive of the Joint Police Force. Under the law, he has the power to say, investigate this, don't investigate this case. If the case goes to court, even if the attorney general want to pull a non-prosecute, that is their business. But then, the police have concluded investigation on the matter, and that is their function, their duty, under the law, charged to do that function, and they've done that.
No, it's beyond just...
the issue of police, army, military synergy or cooperation,
yes,
that, like I said, is a foul play in this country. You know, some military...
It's a foul play?
Yeah, some military...
What do you mean by that?
In the sense that I was serving the police for 35 years.
Yes.
Very often, fine officers, military officers appreciate and recognize police officers, respect them, but some uninformed don't feel that this stupid ego, oh, I'm a soldier, I'm a military man, and so forth. So that is why it doesn't happen. In fact, I was told that yesterday you had a program with a brigadier. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I don't know whether we can have such a short clip to know, and let me see what happens so can respond to that. That I heard that a military brigadier said here that the police don't have ranks. I don't know how true is that. Can you confirm that? Well,
he didn't say that. What he did, the question posed to him was whether the army was superior, army officers are superior to the police, and he said yes, that they are. He said the training that they receive is superior to what the police receive.
Okay, let me respond to that. You see, when you talk about superiority, you talk about the job I do and the job you do that determines what the risk involved and so forth. A policeman, a soldier is just trained to kill, to press a trigger. And a policeman is trained to arrest, investigate, prosecute, and also kill, if necessary, as also provided by the law. You know, so a policeman, a soldier is just trained, and a soldier has identified the enemy location. What you do is that bombard the area, conquer the area, and don't take over the area. But the policeman, you use intelligence, use investigation. You have to observe. You have to do some observations. You don't just, like Shakespeare will say, there's no mind constitution on the face. You don't know who's a criminal. You apply intelligence, apply observation, apply some skill. You require intelligence. After that, you investigate. You also train to detect and to prevent.
Now the point
which one involves more intellectual capacity?
So the point you're making is that what, the police is more intellectually superior?
I'm just analyzing it. It's left for you to
I'm asking you. You have to be very clear. It's a pointed question. He answered very pointedly. You won't answer pointedly.
What I'm saying.
Yes.
I've given you a very clear analysis of what the function of the policeman and the function of the military officer.
No, a military officer, this is not in defense of either party, but a military officer, of course, requires some intelligence. We don't have the Directorate of Military Intelligence for nothing, do we?
No, that is the Directorate of Military Intelligence, a different unit of the military.
It is, but they work in synergy, don't they?
Every police officer is trained to investigate. He's trained to detect. He's trained to prosecute. He's trained to apply all acts. That is the best of his intelligence capacity. Because, like I said, a military man, a soldier identifies enemy position. Like now, Sambisa Forest, for instance, it's said that the bandits are there. Of course, they bombard that every day. We hear the Air Force has done this has done that. That's the enemy position. A policeman is patrolling his beat. You don't know I'm a man robber. I can dress in suit, I come in my car, you know I'm a robber. You have to apply observation skills, you have to apply investigation ability, you have to apply intelligence, you have to, then after that you prosecute, you know the law.
Sir,
so this...
I don't think that this kind of conversation is beneficial to anyone in terms of asking...
I don't need to come and say police superior, army superior, military superior. We have different functions, different mandates. So, but I'm only saying that from commonsensically, from
the analysis you are given, you are saying that the police is more superior. That's what you're saying. They are a more intelligent force.
They apply intelligence. They apply intelligence. They don't just use brute force.
I think the jury will be out there for the Nigerian people to decide. But I don't think it will be in terms of superiority.
I have not mentioned superiority.
It will be in terms of the function that each has been assigned to carry out and how they're carrying it out.
Good.
Whether they're effective in the functions that they have been assigned.
It would be absurd to come and say a military man is superior to a policeman.
But the question right now is to ensure that things like this do not happen again, because for some people, they would say that it goes beyond just justice. For the people who have been killed, for the policemen who have been killed, for them and their families, that it will also go to this not happening again, for this not to repeat itself.
For this
because we also need, if increasingly we have the military involved in internal security operations and we have them deployed in almost every state of the Federation, then we will have more occasion where the police will be, in contact with the military, will have to cooperate with them. How is this report helping to ensure that this kind of things, what we have seen that resulted in the fatal demise of these people doesn't happen again?
You see, it is unfortunate in this country. The military are so they are so deployed, military, police and law enforcement. Even in the United States of America, military men, Army, Navy, Air Force they are prohibited from getting involved in policing and law enforcement. Internal security, they're not allowed.
But this is where we are.
Even there, a police officer, if you are a captain, if you are a DSP, you call a police captain. If you are a superintendent, you call a police major, and so forth. The ranks are the same basis of ranks, right? So it is because of the orientation they give to the men. Because if a brigadier can come and say the army is superior, military is superior, on what basis? On what basis? That is we attend the same. I have attended a lot of courses with the military. Both in Scotland, in Stockholm, Sweden, in the Kofi Annan Institute in Ghana, and other places. We do the same training in Jaji, the officers' courses.
Can I ask? And this is something that the army, the military men like to use to brag. Who the person who signs their commission letter, they say that they report to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, that's the person who signs their commission letter. Do you think that in any way makes them superior over the Nigerian police?
Like I'm saying, look at that kind of thinking. It's absurd, because if somebody signs a letter, it makes you superior to me. Does that give you better capacity?
I'm just asking.
No, it is commonsensically now.
And he was talking about training. He says that the training that they receive is superior to that of the police.
The training, I'm now giving you the basis of the training. Training is based on need. Not just train someone for the basis of training, for the fun of it. Any training you're given to a need, but capacity building is based on need. What do they need? They need how to press the trigger, how to take an ambush, and so forth.
In fairness to the military, it's not just how to take it, how to.
No, I know that's military operations.
That is not just all training.
Okay, let me.
Are they in school for how many years just to know how to trigger a gun?
Okay, you see, the police also, every officer must go through courses. I was a police constable, I was a cadet officer, I'm a sociologist, I'm a lawyer, I have a master's degree in development studies, and I have all that, and I do my job, and you must follow that. All courses, you must attend all courses. That's capacity building. And that, like I said, capacity building training is based on need. What do I need as a police officer? It's not just go to range or go to the bush exercise. Not just based on that. It has to be. How do I apply emotional intelligence? For instance, a police officer deal with human beings. How do I apply emotional intelligence, managing crisis management? How do I resolve dispute? How do I manage conflict? These are all you apply some intellectual capacity, emotional intelligence, application of emotional intelligence. You need to know all this. But a soldier does not need all those things, because he's there to face the enemy, right? But the policeman is not trying to face the enemy, trying to face the society, protect the society, maintain law and order for the good of the society.
Mr. Alube, it is this, back and forth on, who is superior, perhaps.
I've never mentioned who is superior.
No. That could have led, in this instance, to what we saw in Taraba State. Because it is very heartrending to watch that video and even hear one of the policemen who was killed by the military men saying,
shouting,
"I'm a policeman," and yet, you know, he wasn't even listened to or brought in for investigation, and he was taken out, you know, right there, right in front of the cameras. There certainly is a mindset that needs to be broken.
That is a mentality.
The question right now is, how are we breaking it with the conversations that we're having on that and what has come out of the report?
That is one of the ways to stop that, to use as a deterrent. This particular instance as a deterrent. It's unfortunate that in this country, the military have that kind of negative, that kind of egoistic attitude, which is debasing. Ego debases you. What exalts human being is humility.
But the ego,
and again in life,
the point is, the ego is not just on the part of the military. It is also on the part of the police. If you're saying that you're intellectually, your intellectual capacity, from what you're narrating now,
the training builds up intellectual capacity. The training,
yeah,
what builds and capacity
is superior to that of the
I've not mentioned the word superior.
You haven't. You don't have to say it expressly. Of course, yeah. I'm taught to read between the lines. You seem to be alluding to the fact that your training in terms of intellectual capacity is superior to that of the to that of the military. Isn't that what you're saying?
You see, as a police officer, you are trained to observe, make deductions, analyze, right?
At the end of the day, what you're saying is that is more superior to just being taught to, you know, trigger a gun. Isn't that what you've been saying? Yeah,
like I said, our functions are they're different functions. My functions are different. So there's no business saying that you are superior or I'm inferior. The basic functions are different. But the training I do determines my capacity. And again, it's unfortunate that in this country, you see, the police was the mother force of this country. The police, without the police, no democracy in any way in the world. And it's unfortunate that this country people don't appreciate the role of the police in nation building, internal security. Thank God we have very weak neighbors. How many wars have the military under Section 217 the Constitution provides that they are there to our external aggression, to external aggression.
What would you be looking? So, how would you say that, you know, both parties act on this report moving forward?
Like, first and foremost, like I said, it's a murder case, a capital offense, and you don't compound. The law doesn't like compound capital offenses like murder. You don't compound that. The law is against the law to compound that. And now, police who are statutorily charged in the function of investigating criminal cases have not carried out an investigation and they come with a report, their findings, that finding be acted upon in line with the law. And then again, those who are involved in this matter should be punished as a deterrent. Because when they sweep under the carpet, it will not be like tomorrow you say that on unknown soldier. No, it will not be like that. You know, let it serve as a deterrent. So when there's law has no value to man, if that law is not enforced.
Do you see that happening with this case? Do you see more deterrents coming up as a result of this particular matter? For those, and again, the training. The military should change the training of the officers. That mentality. For a brigadier to come and say that the police, military man is superior to the police, I never expected that because it doesn't mean he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand we do the same training. Like even the Constitution says, the Police Act says the police should carry out, apart from investigating and detecting police functions, they can also carry out military duties in and outside Nigeria. In peacekeeping operation, police officers have been heading where you have brigadier and general police have been heading those commands. I was in charge of peacekeeping. When I was in charge of peacekeeping, the late my friend General Tubo was in charge of peacekeeping of that blessed memory. We still have our colleagues. Only some of these officers, military officers, who probably have not gone, who probably have not been able to, have not been liberated from this egoistic attitude. We see they are superior. You're obviously very upset with that. No, it's not supposed. That statement is not supposed to be made at all. Well, I believe that you've reacted sufficiently to it, and I believe that those who need to do something about it will do something about it. We have to thank you for coming on Sunrise Relief this morning. Mr. Lawrence Alobi is a former Commissioner of Police in the Federal Capital Territory, and has been speaking to us, reacting to this Board of Inquiry's report over the killing of 3 police officers and 2 civilians in Taraba State. Sunrise Daily continues in a moment. Please stay with us.